Great. So now let's talk about time tracking. So when we say time tracking, what do we mean? Right? The employer needs to know how much time you have spent in that organization in that particular period, be it a week, be it a month, be it a quarter, be it a year, right? And it is on that number of days or hours, it is based on that time you have worked, the actual time you have worked, that the employer will pay you your 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 dues or your salaries, right? So employers use a tool called a timesheet. So a timesheet is a document or spreadsheet where employees record the number of hours they work each day. It usually includes date, day, time in, time out, breaks, total hours worked, right? In other organizations, it can be digital, right? It can be in Excel or using an HR software or manual, right? Talking of the software, we have in QuickBooks, um, you can have a timesheet in QuickBooks. All right. So um, in in this session, I'll talk about a timesheet prepared in Excel. All right. So what are the main uses of a timesheet? Number one, we're talking of payroll calculation. Let's say in a month you work, let's say you work 22 days, and for whatever reason you were absent for a week, that is 5 days. It means in that particular month, the employer will pay you your salary minus the days you were absent. So it will be the total number of hours worked times the hourly rate. So this is what it means when I say it is used for what? It is used for payroll calculation. It ensures employees are paid accurately based on time worked. So on the timesheet, you, the timesheet tracks overtime, weekend pay, and leave. Okay, so the timesheet has to show that. Okay, and also the other use of a timesheet is leave and attendance tracking. Using that timesheet, you know who was absent and who was present in that particular period, right? It detects absenteeism or a repeated tardiness, and it is also used for HR performance evaluations. Okay, if you were late, the timesheet will show. Okay, for others, you do it electronically, whereby uh, you just use your thumbprint to clock in, and also the some thumbprint to clock out. So it is used for HR performance evaluations. Okay, it will help in tracking those who were absent and those who were late and those who were early, all those things. When you are being evaluated at the end of the, let's say, quarter, semi-annual, or at the end of the year, um, the the timesheet will help you in doing that. Okay, So, as I said, you can be paid less if you are absent from work and have no leave days to use. Okay, so when you're going and then you have exhausted your leave days. Okay, so it will come a time whereby the employer will say, okay, go on leave, but we'll deduct your pay, the number of days you'll be absent because you don't have leave days. This is called a salary deduction for unpaid leave. All right. So this is how it works. The reasons for you being deducted, the days you were absent, okay, the reasons for you being deducted from your gross pay. If you have used up all your annual, sick, or other paid leave days, okay, you don't have any leave days to go on holiday. You're going on holiday, but you don't have days. So the employer will deduct from your salary the days you are absent. That's number one. Number two, an approved absence or unpaid leave. Okay. So if you are absent for no reason at all, you have gone AWOL, right? You haven't told anyone. You are gone for, let's say, 2 days. It will be at the discretion of the employer to deduct from your gross pay or to deduct from your compensation for that particular period those 2 days you were absent. And also, if you don't have what, if you take an unpaid leave, okay, so you're on leave but you'll not be paid. Okay, all right, so you deduct the equivalent amount of your salary based on the number of days or hours worked. So it's like your monthly salary, you convert it to daily rate or weekly rate or hourly rate, and then the employer will say, okay, this person was absent for 3 days. So you say, okay, uh, the employer will take your daily rate times 3 days and deduct from your monthly salary. This is often called no work, no pay policy, right? I hope I'm making myself clear. So here is an example. If you earn 500,000 a month, by the way, this is not dollars, this is Malay kwacha, okay, which is the equivalent to around $200. If you earn 500,000 a month and you miss 3 working days with no paid leave left, your monthly salary is typically based on 21 to 22 working days. Okay. So if calculated as 22 days, you have to work out how much in a day the employee works or how much in a day the employee earns, right? So it will be 500,000 divided by 22 to find the what? The daily pay. So the deduction will be this daily pay times the number of days the employee was absent. All right. So this is how it works. So now let me show you how a timesheet looks like. All right. So I'll exit this presentation mode, and then let's go to this one. Okay, yeah. So this is the timesheet. By the way, you can also get your template like this if you go to Excel and then you go to templates, they have beautiful templates there under Microsoft Excel, already made templates. So an example of a timesheet. Right? So you have employee details. This is Takuma Hayashi, their email there, and then their phone number, right? And then we have total work week hours. We have 40. Then total hours worked, 35. Regular hours, 35. Overtime, 0. Okay, before we go there, then we have the manager. So when you prepare the timesheet, this is a weekly timesheet. So when you prepare it, your manager has to approve that timesheet. Why? Because your immediate manager, your line manager, was the one who knew about your presence at that particular time or period. Okay, if you're absent, the manager knows, okay, that okay, XX is not around, so they record. So they have to check if indeed what you're submitting is a true reflection of what happened during that period or during that month, right? So we have, these are the dates. Let's say on the 1st of is this American? Yeah, okay. This is American dates. Okay, we have on the 3rd of January, time in. Okay, he clocked in at 9 a.m. and he started lunch end, and time out. This is when they clocked out. Okay, the same day on the 4th of January, time in, time out, and the hours worked, 7. So it is there is this is being calculated. It is being the number of the number of hours worked are being automatically populated. There is a formula here. Okay, you see this one, if error, something like that. So the number of hours worked are being automatically populated, right? So this is our timesheet, and then total hours worked. So where are we get? We're saying 35. So you see, there's a formula here. So if you double click on that, it is getting the total of these what? Of these hours worked, right? And then we have regular hours. We also have a formula there, okay? And overtime, there was no overtime here, right? So it is these hours which have been worked in this month of January, which will go to finance. It will be given to the accountant to calculate how much this employee should be paid. This Takuma Hayashi should be paid in the month of what? I mean, in the first week of January 2023. Okay, so this is timely or a weekly timesheet. Okay, so let me show you another timesheet. This one will be a monthly timesheet. All right, so here is also another example of a timesheet. So this timesheet is for the employee code Mohan Narang, and then the manager of the employee is Shi Losentine. All right, so here we have the month of January. We have the days Monday to Friday, or rather Monday to Sunday, right? And then we have the weeks in the month. We have week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5. If although the week 5 is applicable, right? So in week 1, our employee here says they worked 8 hours on Monday up to Friday, and then they had overtime for 2 hours. Okay, and the same for week 2, they worked 8 hours from Monday to Friday and no overtime, and the same applied to the other weeks. And then on top there, um, there is a summary. Okay, regular hours. Okay, so there is a summary of hours worked and regular hours worked and overtime hours worked. So if we add the overtime hours and the overtime hours and the regular hours, we're getting what? 402 hours. So this is what we're getting. So this figure, and after being this timesheet being approved by the manager, this figure will go to finance for the calculation of pay for that particular individual, or for, in our case, for Mr. Morgan Narang, right? So the regular hours is the sum of all the hours worked in the months below. Okay, so we have January there. Okay, so for January regular hours, we had 200 and overtime 2. Okay, for February, similar, we had regular hours 200, overtime 5.5. So this is what happened during the um, during these 2 months. Okay, and the template continues. It goes on and on to other months. We have March. Okay, we have February. We have March. We have April. We have May. I think should be up to December, November there and December, right? And this template, I told you, I got it from Excel templates. There are a lot of templates there, but I also share with you, okay, this template. So this is how um, time tracking works. This is how people are paid in an organization. Okay, for other organizations, the time tracking tool is not Excel. For others, it's another software. Like as I said, you can do it in QuickBooks. Okay, you can do it in other ERP softwares like Microsoft Dynamics. That one you can also you can do your time sheet there, and also another software like Aggresso. Okay, so what the timesheets do is they come up with the total number of hours an employee has worked in that particular period, so that we calculate um, the pay to give that person in that particular period. With this, I've come to an end of this session uh, on time tracking. Next, I'll talk about gross pay. Thank you very much.